Good job, man. Um, that's exactly what I would. That's exactly what I try and tell people to find. It looks really good as far as demand and low competition goes. Uh, I'm glad you've looked into the pricing already. My only concern is whether or not the sales may have to do with the coronavirus. I'm wondering if this is something that people are trying to use to like check on their health right now more than usual, meaning like if we go back and look at December, like if we go look at 2019, the whole year, how these were selling,
Yeah.
because maybe there's just a spike right now because of the virus stuff. So the way,
But we can find that out, no? Like
yeah,
we
yeah,
have.
yeah. So what I'm trying to do here is just go in and look at the sales history of a bunch of different sellers to get an idea of if the product sells consistently pre-virus and then like what's kind of been happening to it now. So right now I'm clicking, so like right now I'm looking into the Flow Mist one and what I'm looking at, and then now I'm looking at the Lovia one, and I'm looking at when they launched the product. And so far, Flow Mist and Lovia have just barely recently launched. Then the Hue Trady one launched in March. E-Linker launched in just barely in April. And then this Paiule, they've been around since September. Their sales have gone way up. Okay, so it looks like to me that the coronavirus thing is driving a lot of demand for these right now. And that's why these guys, Flowmist, Lovia, Who Trady, Elinker, that's why they, with very low reviews, are being able to capture so many sales. But if you go look at like the Paiule one and pull up that graph and switch it to
Which
all
one is that?
the not showing up on yours. Scroll back up real fast. No, not that one. Scroll back up. It's not showing up in yours. So we're getting some different results here. Let me see if I can find another one. Here, let's go. Click on try the Vietnam one. Click on that graph.
This one.
Yeah, let's see what that looks like. Switch it to all time. So yeah, I mean you'll see they have their sales from July 2019, and then it starts to spike in kind of January, and then right March, April, big spike, and that's right when like things really started going crazy with the virus, with the whole quarantine and lockdown stuff. And if you go look at the other sellers, you're seeing similar spikes in that same time period. So the way you would want to, so the way I would look at this is like I would do like, so scroll over like October, November of last year and look at how many sales they were making. A couple,
2, 3,
three,
4.
yeah. But then if you go scroll over March and April, now they're making 40, 50, 70 maybe. Yeah. So so like if you launched it right now, I think you could and could keep inventory in stock, it could go well for you. But you know, if Corona, and I have no clue how the Corona stuff is going to play out. But
sure, of course,
if it dies next month, then these sales might also take a drop back to where he was making a few sales a day. But also, correct, it could be possible that this Corona stuff hangs around for 6 months, a year. Fingers crossed, no. But if that happens, then maybe the demand for 40, 50 units of these a day could still be there. So that's the risk. I think that's the risk here with this product is As far like if you just look at 2019 sales, and this is just one example here, we'd want to go in and do, and I have on my computer, but if you want to go in and click on some more and look at how they performed last year, I think we'll pretty much see the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's just a little, you carry that bit of risk of, okay, you could launch right now, and yes, there is a higher demand for this right now. Maybe it sticks around for months and months, and maybe it doesn't. But I mean, on that same note, these guys who have just launched just in April, they're killing it right now, right? As long as they stay in stock,
they're killing it right now.
They're killing it right now and making a bunch. Like, but you just don't know how long that's gonna last. And
but I also think that this is a new product, and like I've been seeing this advertisement a little bit in my Instagram. Like when you scroll down Instagram, like it keeps coming up even before coronavirus.
Sure.
I've been seeing it. I don't know why this product just came out. I don't know what. I even thought about buying it to myself. I mean, sometimes they use even the athletes. Sometimes they use this apparently. Yeah. But yes, I mean, all the graph shows that coronavirus, of course, helped this product drastically.
Yep. Yeah. So
that's why I spoke to a couple of Chinese manufacturers. They were even out.
Right. So I mean,
but at least the good thing is that I'm in a good path. At least I got the
right.
I'm
Yeah.
it.
You're looking at it extremely well as far as like finding high demand and low competition. You're spot on with that. Spot on. Then the next step after that is just analyzing the sales history and trying to figure out, is there consistent demand across like all the months of the years, or are we in a trend right now for it? Stuff like that. And it looks like at the moment there's a trend for this product.
So if I look at the okay, this kind of going down. So so this graph shows it just started in April. That's why it's very.
Yep.
I think. But let's go to the other one that you show. So basically here, the way you're looking at this graph is here it's all same. This spike, you don't like this spike, basically.
Well, I do and I don't.
Yeah, sure. Exactly.
The reason that I don't is because that spike can go away who knows when. Like.
Sure.
Right? But the reason that I do like it is because there's an increase in demand. And so I'm not trying to be repetitive here, but if you launch the product right now, you'll probably get a good amount of sales. But will you get a good amount of sales in? So yeah, I mean, you'd pretty much be launching in May. So let's say May goes well. Would you still get that many sales in June, July, August? I don't know. Would you get that many sales in February of 2021? Super hard to say. No clue.
Sure.
And that because that's going to depend a lot, it looks like, on this whole virus situation. But what
what about the rest of this low numbers? Those low numbers, you don't think it's enough enough demand?
Well, so
let's say if the numbers are the way it is.
So you're looking at like kind of 4 or 5 sales a day. Starts to come up in December when the virus stuff starts coming around, but or if you go hover over November 2019. So that's like 7.
November.
Yeah, so just 19. So it's kind of like 4 or 5, and then if you go back to August, they had a spike. The other way, I go back to August.
I don't know what happened there. But
they had like 16, 25 sales. So the way I would look at it, like that, the question you're asking me is for you to determine. So if at 4 or 5 sales to 25 sales a day is possibly going to be the range once coronavirus dies down, then just take 5 sales to 25 sales, times that by your profit margin, and then ask yourself if that's enough money. And so, like a second way to look.
Comes up around 200-300 sales a month. So. Okay.
Yeah. So maybe the strategy is, all right, launch it as soon as possible to capture this crazy demand, but maybe you just have to do that knowing that at some point it's going to die out and your sales for the product are going to drop to 5 units a day, 10 units a day, something like that. Which at that point, hopefully you've already like got a bunch in stock, you've made a bunch during this demand, and so by that point, even if 5 sales a day, 10 sales a day isn't adding up to like enough money to not have to work another job or something like that, well, you still got a little bit of money still coming in from it, and you were able to capture all that demand in the moment right now.
Yeah,
So
that's great.
the best case scenario, in my opinion, is you find a product that looks like the demand looks right now, and when you go back and look at it over the previous year, it's pretty much the same thing going on. Because then you can have confidence in, if you launch it right now, February of next year, it's still going to be making a similar amount of sales. Does that make sense?
Correct. Yeah, because I understand, because this can be a hit and run type of operation. If you and I cannot even do that if you ask me, because the production is very low. I don't know if Amazon's gonna accept this product in their stores. So by the time I get this done, it might be in June, July, to Amazon store, if you ask me.
Yeah, and maybe the demand that we're seeing for it by then is kind of gone. So by then you might be looking at 5, 10 sales a day, which I don't
Sure.
know how much you're trying to make from this. For some people, if they can make an extra 400 or 500 a month, they're super happy. But I just know that if you, especially because you have the, like, you know how to look at the demand and the competition, if you just keep looking for more products, you will eventually find one that you'll find the sales, you'll find the demand, or sorry, you'll find the demand, you'll find the right level of competition, and then you'll also find the sales history that says this thing will just sell consistently throughout the whole year, and it's not based off of just a trend that's happening right now.
Okay, got it. And then so just to finish up, I think here. So you go to let's look at, let's not go to sponsor, but let's go to here, and then I'm just gonna check the report if I'm seeing the graph right. So I go here. So you always look at this graph, and then you go to all time in every product, and then you're searching to see if you have a same level of sale, more or less,
Yeah,
throughout the year. That is it, right? That's not much to
that
it.
no, that's right. Yeah, and
Okay.
it helps to understand like the reason why behind that. So if we want to go into that, we can. It's just because like you just want to make sure it's not you'll go in here and see. Watch here. Run this search. Go search for stretch book covers. I think this one will be a good example. And try and switch the health and household and baby care. Click on that.
Stretch. The
Book
book
cover.
covers.
Yeah. But yeah, and then switch that to all departments. Yeah. Okay, and then let's see, just run X-ray right here, and then like that second one down right there. So even right here, you can just see it. I think a little bit like you'll see just big spikes in some of these graphs. So just click into one.
Correct. Yeah. It's still loading that.
Yeah, no worries. That's my only complaint I have with Helium 10 X-rays. It's a little slow
Yeah, you always
sometimes.
say that.
Yeah. I say that so hopefully they listen to my videos and speed it up a little bit. Cause I know there's people at Helium 10 that watch my videos. So yeah, see those big spikes?
Yeah.
July, and it's at the exact same time. July 2018, boom, big spike. July 2019, boom, big spike. That's because kids would go back to school right at that time.
Exactly.
So this is a really good example of like, this is not consistent sales throughout the year. You get a big spike in July through October, and then you're basically done until next July. So the reason I like to go in there look at that is, and honestly, like they make good money from July to October selling these. So maybe you could want your strategy to sell these and just know that July to October is when you make your money off of them. But my preference is to look for products because then you can rely on a more consistent income if you find a product that sells pretty regularly throughout the whole year.